Hey guys, Coach Kev from this highly caffeinated version of 10 Simple Truths. What I'm going about is the fitness industry, some of the myths within it. This is number 10. So before I continue, if you haven't seen 1 through 9, just to review, here are the concepts that we talked about and that we crossed out because I don't believe in them. Us at Structured Personal Fitness believe in this whole concept of sustenance, not just temporary. So what we're going to go over, I crossed off punishment, pain, laziness, money, inspiration, all or nothing, insanity, complicated, and 100%. And the last number that I want to go over with you is this number of 365. I think this concept of every day doing something, every day participating in something, I think it's tough because for the grinders, for the type A, for the hustlers, for the people that don't sleep enough, this is a problem. And understanding that if you try to go 365 days or 6 days out of 7 or 7 days out of 7 or these 30-day challenges in which you're working out 30 days straight or 90 days straight and participating in these things, you're going to have to understand something real quick. And that's this. The body needs rest. The body needs rest, it needs recovery, and then you have to allow for that actual adaptation to occur. So for a lot of people, this number of 365 and feeling that they need to do something every day, I think we need to throw that number out the window. And instead, we need to replace it with a magic number that I'm going to replace and call it 3. I do believe in the process of 3. If you multiply that by 52 weeks, that's 156. That's really not that many compared to 365. Doesn't mean that you can't include a long walk. It doesn't mean that you can't include rock climbing. Doesn't mean that you can't include swimming. You can include anything you like as long as you understand that this concept of exercising every day, this all or nothing that we talked about earlier, that has to die. I think being active and participating in something that you enjoy 3 days a week is important. I've seen some people tell us at fitness conferences that the magic number is 2. I believe the magic number is 3 because at the very least, you're going to be mindful of the fact that you are A, more active, you're going to get the endorphin release from that, and then B, make better choices because of the fact that you're more mindful of both the preparation for the workout, the recovery after the workout, or the recovery after the activity, etc. So that kind of wraps up our concepts of the 10 simple truths within the health and fitness industry. And if you've gotten this far, I want to thank you. And I also want to just remind you that if you really do enjoy this, to please share. I think these truths need to be spread. I think these truths won't sell magazine covers. But in summary, I think these truths are the honest things that need to be said, and they're not being said, and they need to be distributed. After 10 years in the fitness industry, I can honestly say that I believe in wholeheartedly in all 10 of these, well, not in all 10 of these, but in the alternatives. And I've also seen people come along that think they can profit off of some of these concepts, and those fads, some of them have turned into trends. Some of them do very well. But I've also been in the industry long enough. I've also been working out long enough. Don't forget, I started when I was 12. So I've actually been working out for 20 years. That's how old I am, just in case you wanted to know. So this concept of lifelong lifting, this concept of sustenance, I don't want somebody for 3 months or 9 months. I want to see somebody be able to look at themselves in the mirror 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 years down the line and say, thank you. You made a difference in the way I look, the way I feel, the way I look at myself, the way I present myself, the way I present myself to others. You made a difference in how I carry myself in the boardroom. You made a difference in how I ran a marathon and how I conquered this mountain and how I did this. Because that's the difference in what I believe is I want people to look at our people for the evidence that structure made a difference. I don't want them to look at me and be like, oh, well, this is my trainer and he has a 6-pack. That's great. That's going to sell some magazines and that's going to do a lot of other great things. But the thing is that I'm going to be honest with you and tell you that I do have a life. I have trouble maintaining certain things. I aim for these numbers that I talked about. I aim for 3 times a week. I aim for 80%. I try to make things simple. I try to remember that insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, I do have to change things up. I try to remember that something is better than nothing if I'm feeling under the weather, etc. I try to aspire to different things. I try to let financial limitations not be part of it. And I try to remind myself that I'm not lazy or that I'm not feeling lazy. I try to remind myself all the time and remind others that they shouldn't have to feel pain, they shouldn't have to undergo pain and to question pain. That's a big topic in the industry. And lastly, that moving and being able to participate in this active lifestyle is an absolute treasure. It's an absolute reward. And anybody who is dishing it out and using it as punishment, I think needs to have some things reevaluated, potentially as a business model as the fitness industry moves away from that, number one. But number two, as we get closer and closer to having this whole concept of lifelong lifting, lifelong training, lifelong participation in athletics, and activity, it's a reward. It's a true reward. And being able to do this long into your 60s and 70s, I think once you get there, or if you're already there, you're going to start to appreciate what I'm talking about. So thanks again for watching. These are the 10 simple truths within the health and fitness industry. I hope this did some myth busting, and more soon.